I'll never forget the night a little boy walked right up to me and asked if I could kill him. That's how it started. I had wandered into the hospital parking garage around midnight, just stretching my legs and clearing my head, when I spotted this tiny kid tucked behind a concrete pillar on level 3. He couldn't have weighed more than 43 pounds soaking wet, and he was holding a bottle of his mom's sleeping pills like it was his last lifeline. When he saw me, he looked up with these tired eyes and asked, "I'm 43 pounds. How many pills would it take?" His voice wasn't scared, just empty. That's what hit me hardest. Now, I've seen my fair share of death. Vietnam showed me more than I ever wanted to know, and later I watched too many brothers die on the road in motorcycle wrecks. But nothing prepared me for the sight of this bald little boy in Ninja Turtles pajamas, thin as a skeleton, hospital bracelet dangling off his wrist, quietly counting pills into his small hand. 23, 24, 25. "Hey there, buddy," I said softly. He jumped like I had fired a gun. Pills went scattering across the concrete. He scrambled for them, crying so hard he could barely breathe. "Please, please don't tell anyone," he begged. "I'll give you anything." That's when he pulled out a Ziploc full of Pokemon cards. "My dad checked online," he said, hands shaking. "These are worth $800. If I give them to you, will you make sure I don't wake up?" I swear, my heart cracked clean in half right then. "You look like someone who understands death," he went on. "In movies, bikers kill people. I need someone who won't let me mess this up." So I sat down beside him on the cold concrete. "What's your name, son?" "Ethan," he whispered. "Ethan Marsh." "I'm Tommy," I told him gently. "Why are you out here with those pills, Ethan?" His whole face seemed to fold in on itself. "I have leukemia." It came back again. Third time. The words poured out of him like a busted dam. "They want to try another bone marrow transplant," he said. "But the last one almost killed me worse than the cancer." "Where's your mom?" I asked. "Sleeping in my room. She hasn't left the hospital in 2 weeks." "And your dad?" "Working his third job tonight to pay for all this. It's not helping anyway." I felt anger boiling in me, not at his parents, but at life itself for beating a kid this mercilessly. He kept talking, voice shaking. "I heard the doctors while they thought I was asleep. They said I've got a 20% chance. And even if it works, I'll suffer every day until I die anyway." "So you figured you'd take control?" I asked quietly. He nodded. "I can't watch my mom cry anymore." Right there I knew I had to choose. Call for help and break this kid's trust, or try a different road. "Tell you what, Ethan," I said. "Give me 1 hour before you do anything." "Why?" he snapped, suspicious. "Because I want to show you something," I said. "If you still want to die after that, I won't stop you." It was a hell of a gamble, but in that boy's eyes I didn't just see despair. I saw someone who was exhausted from fighting alone. "1 hour?" he whispered. "1 hour," I said. "But leave the pills." He hesitated, then slowly set the bottle down. I pulled out my phone and sent a text to my motorcycle club. "Emergency. St. Catherine's parking garage, level 3. Bring everyone." "What did you just do?" Ethan asked, nervous now. "Called my family," I told him. 10 minutes later, the whole garage started shaking with the rumble of engines. 15 of my brothers from the Devil's Prophets rolled in, all leather vests and rough faces that tend to scare most folks half to death. Ethan's eyes went wide. "Are they going to hurt me?" "No, son," I said. "They're here to talk to you." Big Mike was the first to park. The man is 6'5", 300 pounds, covered in scars life carved into him. "Is this our warrior?" he asked me. Ethan blinked. "What?" Big Mike sat down beside him. "Kid, I was dying once too," he said. "Brain tumor. Size of a golf ball. Doctors gave me 3 months." Ethan stared up at him like he was looking at a mountain that somehow learned how to talk. 32 surgeries later, Mike said. "I couldn't walk for a year. Forgot my own name for half of that. Wanted to die every single day." "But you didn't," Ethan whispered. "Nope. My brothers wouldn't let me." He pointed to the riders behind him. "They carried me when I couldn't stand. Fed me when I couldn't hold a spoon. Reminded me who I was when my mind couldn't." Another biker walked over, smaller guy, missing his left arm. "Lost this in Iraq," he said, nodding at the empty space. "Came home and tried to eat a bullet for breakfast." Ethan gasped. "Tommy found me," the man said. "Dragged my sorry butt back to the club, taught me to ride with one arm, gave me something to wake up for." One by one, all 15 sat around Ethan, sharing their scars: cancer, war, crashes, grief. Every one of them had flirted with death. Every one was still here because someone else chose life for them first. Why are you telling me this? Ethan cried, tears streaming down his face. Because you're fighting alone, I said. And nobody wins alone. But you don't even know me. We know you're 11, I said softly, and trying to protect your parents from your pain. We know you're brave enough to look death in the eye, but too worn out to face life right now. And we know, Big Mike added, that you're one of us. Ethan frowned. I'm not a biker. I reached into my saddlebag and pulled out a tiny leather vest I'd had made years ago for a charity ride. One patch on the front, Prospect. You are now, I said, if you want to be. But I'm dying, Ethan whispered. Maybe, I said. Maybe not. But either way, you don't have to walk this road alone. What does being a prospect mean? He asked. It means family, Razor explained. It means 15 brothers who'll sit with you during chemo, joke with you when you cry, and literally carry you when your legs give out. But why would you do that? Ethan asked, honestly baffled. I pointed to a patch on my vest, a date from 1969. I was 19 in Vietnam, I said. Watched my best friend die in my arms. He was 18. For 50 years, I wondered why I lived, and he didn't. I looked straight into that boy's eyes. Tonight, I figured it out. I lived so I could be here, right now, telling you that your life matters. That was it. Ethan collapsed into tears, months of fear and pain crashing out of him. My brothers formed a circle around him like a shield. I'm so scared, he sobbed. The transplant hurts so much. We'll be there, Big Mike said. Every needle, every treatment, every bad day. You can't be there all the time, Ethan whispered. Watch us, Razor told the kid. And almost on cue, we heard footsteps pounding up the ramp. Ethan's mom came running toward us, wild-eyed and shaking. Ethan. Oh God, Ethan. Her voice cracked as she ran. I woke up and you were gone. Then she saw us, 15 bikers in a circle around her son, and she froze like she'd hit a wall of fear. Mom, it's okay, Ethan blurted out. These are my friends. I stood up slow, hands open so I didn't spook her. Ma'am, I said gently, I'm Tommy. We found Ethan out here. He's safe. Her eyes dropped to the floor, to the pills scattered everywhere, and the truth hit her like a punch. Oh, baby, no. I'm sorry, Mom, Ethan sobbed. I just wanted the pain to stop. She looked at all of us, these rough, scarred men, and whispered, You helped him? We're going to keep helping him, I told her. If you'll allow it. She nodded through her tears. Thank you. The Brotherhood moves in. By sunrise the next morning, 15 Harleys were lined up outside the hospital like a security detail. Word spread fast. Folks were saying a dying little boy had been adopted by a biker club. And truth be told, that wasn't far off. When Ethan went in for his transplant, we made sure 2 riders were always with him. We took shifts like clockwork. That boy was never alone, not once. We brought him comic books, cracked dumb jokes, sat with him through every wave of pain. When his hair fell out again, the whole club shaved their heads. Even Big Mike, who hadn't seen the top of his own scalp in 20 years. When Ethan cried, we cried with him. The nurses started calling us the gentlest gang in America. The scariest night. 3 months into treatment, Ethan got an infection. His fever shot up to 104, and the doctors quietly told his parents to prepare for the worst. All 15 of us packed into the hospital chapel. Men who hadn't prayed since they were children dropped to their knees for that boy. I stayed by his bedside, reading Pokemon card descriptions out loud because Ethan loved hearing about their powers. Charizard, I read. Fire and flying type. Doesn't give up even when facing stronger opponents. Ethan's eyelids fluttered open. That's like you guys, he whispered. That same night, the fever broke. A miracle. 6 months later, something none of us dared say out loud finally happened. The transplant worked. His cancer went into remission. The first day he could walk on his own, he tugged my sleeve and said, Take me upstairs. We went back to the parking garage, level 3, behind that same concrete pillar. Why here, son? I asked. Because this is where I tried to die, he said softly. And it's where you guys gave me a reason to live. He pulled something from his pocket. Those Pokemon cards he once tried to trade for death. I want you to have these, he said. I didn't earn them, I told him. You did, he insisted. You saved me. Then he grinned. But I'm keeping the Charizard. Oh yeah? Why's that? Because it reminds me of that night. Ethan said, when 15 dragons landed in a parking garage to guard a dying boy. 2 years later. It's been 2 years now. Ethan's 13, cancer-free, and he rides on the back of my Harley to every club meeting. His little vest is filling up with patches. Cancer survivor. Brother protected. Every meeting, I tell the story of the night I found a boy counting sleeping pills behind a concrete pillar, how 15 bikers became an army of angels, how Pokemon cards turned into symbols of choosing life. And Ethan always adds the part that hits the hardest. Death isn't the scariest thing, he says. The scariest thing is facing it alone. Then he looks around at all of us, these rough men who carried him through hell, and says the words we took to heart. Nobody in this family dies alone. The pills are gone. The cancer is gone. But the brotherhood? That stays. Because sometimes salvation rides in on motorcycles. Sometimes angels wear leather. And sometimes an 11-year-old boy with Pokemon cards shows hardened bikers that the bravest thing a person can do is choose life when death feels easier.